Okay. Hello, everyone. It is 1:31. We are getting ready to start. I'm so happy to have you guys all here. We've got some good attendees showing up so far. Always a great time when we spend our lunch hour with Ryan Hertel from Socialocca. Ryan, it is great to see you. Let's just make sure that all of our technology is working properly. I love your background. I'm using our old one from the spring.
Oh, that's fine. That's the original. That's even cooler because it's nostalgic now,
Absolutely. So it's great to see you. The world has been so weird post-pandemic, and I think this might be the longest we've ever gone without seeing each other at some type of networking event or something of that nature. So thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you all attendees for joining us today. That means that you at least have the base of knowledge that Google is important, and you want to learn more about how Google can work for you. So we are thrilled to bring that information to you. And I'm happy to be here on behalf of all of our THInC partners. Again, THInC stands for the Hazleton Innovation Collaborative. It is a group of people and organizations who are enthusiasts of entrepreneurship, and it includes Can Do, the Can Be Innovation Center, the Wilkes Small Business Development Center, our Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much. I know we have Mary on the call today, and Leanne as well, I believe I saw, and the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, not to mention our partners with the Penn State Launchbox and so many others. So entrepreneurship is alive and well in Greater Hazleton, and we are thrilled to be here again talking about some great tips and tricks for you as a business owner. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Ryan Hertel, the owner and founder of Socialocca, and I can't wait to see what we teach you guys today.
Hey, Jocelyn, thanks so much for the intro. That was great. I wanted to ask too, what page is this live on Facebook right now?
Sure.
What Facebook page?
I don't know how, but it wound up sharing to my personal page. I just shared it to the Can Be page as well. I think I tagged Socialocca in it. So
that's okay.
For everyone's information, we are streaming live on Facebook as well as here. And if for whatever reason, you know somebody that this might be beneficial for after our session, we do record these sessions and we put them up on Can Be's YouTube channel. And it looks like we're also going to be sharing on the chamber page. So feel free to share on Facebook and show your friends. Certainly, there's no close to the vest secrets here. This is for everybody. So thank you so much for those of you that are participating and actively sharing on social. And again, we will be posting this on our Can Be's YouTube channel. So okay. Ryan, I am going to do what I always do, and I'm going to manage the chat and I'm going to manage the Q&As. Please, everybody, be as interactive as possible, but you won't hear much from me from now on. We're going to turn the show over to Ryan.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks for coming out, everybody, and I really appreciate you listening. Yeah, I guess without any further ado, I should get through my intros and we'll jump into talking about Google Business and give you guys some useful information. First, Joss, if you wouldn't mind, will you enable me to share my screen? Oh, you already have. Thank you. So here, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. All right, as long as this is working correctly, we should all be looking at this beautiful little flyer that we've got together for understanding Google My Business and the other free Google tools. So guys, thanks for coming today. I am Ryan Hertel of Socialocca, and today you get to spend the afternoon with me and then Jocelyn, two avid marketing people from Northeastern Pennsylvania who can tell you what might be best when it comes to getting your business online. And we all know that right now is such a crucial time for all businesses to have an online presence. Guys, it is so important. I'm sure the majority of you watching this already know this, and you're just here to learn some more. But if you haven't started getting, whatever it is, your business, your hobby, whatever you're doing, and trying to, sell your product to people or service people, make sure you have an online presence. It's super important. And today we're going to talk about the platform that I personally believe is the most valuable when it comes to being found online. So let's get started. Let's talk about Google. And first, before we even get into Google Business, I just wanted to say, I'm Ryan with Socialocca Marketing Agency. Jocelyn said this, but just as an idea as to why you might want to listen, because a lot of people can get on a webinar and tell you they think they know what's best. But I've been doing social media marketing for a couple of years now. And my online marketing agency, Socialocca, I work with a small team and we service graphics, social media content creation. We do webinars and educational courses like this constantly. We do web work, advertising, all of this stuff related. So every day I'm talking with people from small businesses and I'm giving them similar to the same advice that, I'll be sharing here when it comes to, Google My Business and just being found in general. So just to give you almost a quick why you should even listen, guys, I'm going to throw a bunch of ideas at you and try to make this as open and understandable by all genres of business in any industry. But before we get started too, just if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'd even say that if any of you have, if you already have like a Google My Business and you want to let me know, please feel free to put that in the chat. Say, we've already got our profile or we've got an account, whatever you want to say there, just so I can kind of gauge who already understands what and kind of get a better idea on that.
Ryan, I'm still
yes.
kind of like, we're 9-10 months into working from home and COVID nonsense. I'm still learning all of the great tools that Zoom allows. So I thought now would actually be a really great segue. I'm going to launch a poll within our yeah, right? I know.
Oh, I had no idea this is happening. Okay.
I am going to launch a poll. Everybody should start seeing that question pop up on their screen, asking you if you currently use Google for your business.
Love that. Thank you, Jocelyn.
And then that can help us get an idea of, who our audience is and how to direct some of this conversation.
Thanks so much, Jocelyn. Yeah, guys, if you wouldn't mind filling that in, just so I have an idea, just so I know I'm not going over the wrong things. I'm going to try to keep this presentation to about 30 minutes max, and then we can open it up for Q&A because I think that all of you probably came with questions, and I think it's important that we get there to respect that time. But let's get going. So people are going to vote. Oh, cool. We've already got them in. We have the majority have said no, they do not use Google for the business. All right, guys, so here, let's hop into this and I'll show you exactly why this is so useful. So just right off the bat with Google, we all have an idea as to why it's important for us to use, obviously. Google's the ultimate search tool. You constantly hear people saying, oh, you don't know how to do this? Google it or YouTube it. YouTube is owned by Google, in the sense they both, have all of these resources, media, videos. So Google has all this information for people to use. So that said, we're all very familiar with the fact that people are Googling and searching every day. In fact, billions of Google searches, that's the new fact, billions of Google searches happen every day. So how do you become one or many of those billion for your business to be seen? The way that Google works is it depends, and this would seem obvious, but just to explain, it depends on what the search keywords are. So when you go and you search on Google, and this was an example I wanted to show, if we simply show pizza delivery, there are lots of different ways, to say this. We could say pizza delivery near me, pizza delivery in Fort Lauderdale where I am right now, near me, open now. So you could say this, however you want, type it in. Some people are very simple. Some will say near me or around me. Having the location is so important, especially because a lot of us are ordering out now. But anyway, you put your keywords into the search box and you search for what's going to come up. And Google is pulling all of these results based off of a lot of different things in their algorithm. They're looking at the location. They're looking at what I might have looked at before. They're looking at the websites of these businesses and ranking them. And that's something we've talked about on past webinars before, me and Jocelyn, how important your website is with ranking. And Google also, will show you these paid ads first. So you might realize that right here, this actually says ad for Sarpino's Pizzeria Takeout. So right here, the first ad is for gosarpinos.com. And here, let's just take a look just so we get an idea. So this is the first one, and it links right to their website, get 10% off your order. Cool. So Google is ranking this high because, number one, they're paying for the spot through an ad. So Sarpino's has this number one ad spot right here. Then it's followed by Papa John's, Domino's, and Pizza Hut. So these paid ads through Google are a great way to get seen, but that would all be through Google advertising. And if that's something that you're interested in doing for your business, because you're finding that it's important, to advertise on Google because you get a lot of website hits, that would be something you'd want to look on the Google advertising side of. And if we get enough attention, or I guess encouragement to do it, we could definitely even put together something on Google Ads. Maybe I'll talk to Jocelyn about that later. But yeah, just to explain this, Google will put the paid placements first when you're searching for something. And then when you get past those, you get to this map. And this is what they call the 3-pack, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like the Google 3-pack. And it's the first 3 places. And again, it's by your location, what's around you, what's rated well. It all has to do with a lot of this Google business. And immediately we can see, where these places are in coordination to me, the reviews, whether they have curbside pickup here. Oh, let me give this 1 minute. It says my internet connection is unstable. Okay, there we go. Google is here to make the lives of its users easier. Google is just a tool and a utility for every human at this point that can access the internet. And their job is to give you what you're looking for. And a lot of the times, just as in with business, people do not know what they want. And that's why Google derives all of its, search engine results off of the keywords and the rankings of websites and what people are putting in. And Google just uses all of this, to hopefully give us the best place to order pizza from when I search for it and want to order pizza. So again, a very simple, example, really explained out. But this at least gives you some insight into, you search for your terms, you get your paid ads, you'll get your Google 3-pack, you get the map, you'll be able to view all of these if you want. And these businesses all have a profile on Google. So when I'm searching for pizza, all of these guys are coming up all over this area. And this is how you can get new customers and just more easily found by your current customers. So, and let's not even, just focus on the pizza. If we're going to look at even just restaurant around me, even a restaurant around me, you're going to get right here, your Google 3-pack, and you can go and do more. And you can see all of these places that have listings on Google. And this will be chain restaurants, mom and pops, whatever. It doesn't matter how big or small, you can still get a placement on Google. And we're going to talk about the benefits of even having that placement on Google. And again, just to stray away from the food, because not everyone's in the food industry, even a laundromat is something where people are going and putting it on Google. So guys, it doesn't really matter the industry. It doesn't really matter, how big or small you are, or what your business is. Google has all of these different, industries you can choose from, and specializations, for certain professions and careers. So you can really get nitpicky and put exactly what your business does, and loads of information about it. But we'll talk about that next. I want to get to the features and the benefits of even having this profile. So it's super important that, number one, your website, is connected, and set up properly to rank online. But really, it's also so crucial that you have that Google profile so that Google knows how to link your website to their search results better, so that it can put your website and your information in front of people who are searching, that it would be relevant to, whether they're within the same, proximity as your business, or whether they're looking for that exact product, whatever it may be. So let's talk about the benefits of actually being listed on Google. And this is the back end right here for Google My Business. This is for Socialocca LLC. And you can see that there are a bunch of buttons and there's a lot that we could possibly do. And for those of you who have not seen this, you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what is this? A new social media platform? I don't want to deal with this. But thankfully, it's fairly simple. I'm going to give a quick crash course right now, just to explain this out. So number one, guys, this whole Google My Business thing is free. It doesn't cost money. Do not pay anybody who calls and says they will do this for, I don't know, $500. Don't pay them. They're just lying to you. There are no fees with Google, no subscription fee, no anything. There's no magic fee unless you're, physically going to pay a marketing agency or professional to set this up for you. But do not be fooled that there are no activation or costs or service fees. And I say that because a lot of people have set up scams with Google My Business to fool small businesses into thinking there are, and then they take their money, never really set them up a Google business, and just disappear. So be careful, just because that is an ever so popular scam right now, as people migrate their businesses online to get more attention. So yeah, Google My Business is free. You can go and set it up all by yourself. And it's very, very simple. And just to show that without even having the page prepped, Google My Business sign up. And then this is what you would do. So sign up and verify your business. New to Google My Business, we're here to help. And this guide will walk you through the basic steps. And then sign up and review business info. Oh, this is just bringing me through the help. I'd like to get to, hold on, business. Let me make sure I find create account, Google. I'm going to find the exact, here we go. This is it. So it's a little different for me because I've already had, my profile created, but I'm going to drop this in the chat for everybody. If you want to, you can obviously just Google search for it too. Look for create Google My Business profile or anything. Google has a couple different places actually that you can start this, because honestly, there was another page I was on the other day. But what I will do is I'm going to just drop this in the chat. So if anybody is interested in looking at this, please take a look. And you can start setting up your profile. All you would need is just, an email or a Gmail to get started. So I'll leave that there. And here, we'll get back to what we were talking about. So back to the dashboard. We already said, Google is free. It's something that you don't need to pay for. Google Business, that is. So don't fall for any scams. Don't be fooled for anything like that. And getting on with the benefits, this is the best way to find new customers, being listed on Google where everybody is searching. And really the reason and the facts behind that as to why Google is so powerful is just because it's, the #1 search engine, for all of these things. Google is receiving, like we said, billions of searches every day. So this is a great place for you to be found by your customers. And another thing too, for people who need locality, where it matters where they are, you can always incorporate a map to show people, like we saw with some of these other examples, it has them on the map. And this is a great way for businesses that are, physically there and need guests to come to their place of business. You can put your map. And it's a great way to have that available to people instead of explaining it or, having them have to type it in. Google makes it so accessible to just click on it. You'll also rank better on Google by having a Google business account. So just having this set up for your business will help you rank much better. You can display your store hours, and that's also holidays and vacations and things like that. And I will show how to edit that, but just to show a quick example as to like how it even works. If we click on this, these guys should have their hours. Yep, right here. So you can see their hours from their listing right here. They've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they're open every single day of the week, but this specifies exactly when they open. And it'll tell you to, right there, it'll say open, closed, all of that. Even with holidays and vacations, with, things like Christmas coming up and Hanukkah starts today, things like that, people can mark those in. Google has an option to do that, and you can let your customers know if you'll be open or if you're closed. And that's always helpful. Through Google Business, you can also promote your sales and specials. One of the best ways to do that is through posts, which we're going to get to. You can use your Google Business profile to post things up and they'll be seen by more people. But yeah, you can also just put in information on sales specials. Google has a couple different ways to do this through products, and we'll get there. You can also list contact options, and I think that that's huge. With Google, you can list your phone number, email, website, mailing address, visit us address, PO box, whatever. Google allows for all of those contact options to be listed on your Google profile. And again, here you can find a lot of those. These guys have their phone number. You can order now through Grubhub. You can call them with this button here. So for Big C's, it's just, they make it so accessible for people to access all of this information and find what they need. And then lastly, it also showcases customer reviews. That's another huge benefit that I kind of wanted to get into. Ironically, some people reviews are not the best thing because, sometimes they're fighting bad reviews. But just to take a quick example, these guys have 605 reviews as a pizza place. This is pretty good. And you can go on as a future customer or user or whatever, and you can look and see, is this a place I want to order pizza from? And I think that this is one of the best features Google has, because many of us are very familiar with this. It's super important to check the reviews and see how, see what they're saying about the place. Sometimes they're not always accurate. Sometimes people have bad experiences, whatever. But Google, allows people to put up their photos. This has photos of the food and everything. That's super helpful. Google reviews is a huge decision maker for a lot of customers. And data like that keeps coming out constantly now. Reviews on Facebook and Google are it's big, and people are doing them, even on Yelp, all of those services. So having the ability to, feature those reviews and have people speak out about how great your business is, that's a huge benefit. And that's a huge reason to have a Google business, as long as you can keep positive reviews on your profile. So those are a lot of the benefits of why you should have a Google business profile. Now we need to get into how you're actually going to set them all up. So starting with going right back to the reviews, really, let's start here. Let's talk about this. When it comes to getting Google reviews for your business, you can have people go on and find your page through Google. That works too. But Google has set up a very easy way. Definitely take a note on this if you'd like to. With Google Business, it is very easy to grab your review form right here. They have this right on the main dashboard, and you can take this link and you can share it with people. So just to re-explain this, you'd create your Google Business account, you set it all up, and then you're on the dashboard of Google Business here. And then you scroll down a little bit to this Get More Reviews section, just highlighting this so it makes sense. And then you click this Share Review Form. And what this does is you can take this, we're editing it. We don't want to do that. Hold on. You can take this link and you can copy it over, and you can actually open it through email, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, whatever you want to do. Send this out to people, friends, family, past customers, and collect their reviews. So if you're a business that's already been in business for years and you just did not put your business on Google, it's really important that once you do, you try to get some reviews up, because you most likely have past customers that would say, absolutely, just email a dozen of them and see if you could get a start with some reviews, because people will read them and they will judge your business based off of it. And the more reviews and the more consistent good reports you have, just the better customer retention you're going to have, and the more clout on Google in those search rankings. So requesting reviews, really simple. And it's a nifty way to get your Google listing to rank higher. Sharing reviews with friends, family, past customers, whoever can rate your business and leave you a positive review. Discovery insights, another great benefit. And again, this is right through the dashboard, just showing a quick example. It's right here under Insights. And this shows you how the customers are searching for your business. And this will even show you queries used to find your business. So these would all be the search terms and keywords as to how people are finding your business on different searches. And this even shows, some of these terms are very low. They've had less than 10 searches or whatever. Near me. So this will show, different numbers and results, especially based off of how often your business is searched for. A lot of you probably have businesses that have many employees, and you'd have a lot of people constantly on the web. So you'll see much higher numbers and much more busy pie charts. But it's great to have analytics like this to better understand. Google also allows you to offer your customers a Q&A through your Google business profile, so that they can ask and answer questions. So people can leave questions for you on your Google account. And forgive me, I didn't have this loaded up to show exactly how it works. But when people ask questions, you can set up answers that would then just display as part of your business info. And then that way you're not going to be answering the same questions over and over and over. There's a Q&A feature through Google. I can come back to that at the end if we need to, but just to save some time, I don't want to get lost trying to find that right now. Customers with appointments too. Another great thing is that Google will allow you to have your customers book appointments. And Google Business has its whole own side to this too. They even allow for you to add services, products. I've gone through and I've added in, different service titles or product titles that Socialocca can service based off of, what we do and what categories and what keywords I would want people to search for. So not to get into this too much, but we set up different categories, for different service like industries that we help with, like video, web, graphics, social, all very related to marketing. But we set this up so that all the different terms, my internet connection is unstable. One sec. Sorry, I paused out there just for bad internet. With all these search terms with marketing, I have these listed under our services. And this helps again with ranking because Google now knows what people should search for Socialocca to come up. And same with products. I've added some products here, some different subscription based, and this was easy to do as well. I just went to products, added a product, and I put these on. For a lot of you, you'll have way more products because you'll be selling, dozens of physical items. And for that, you probably won't be able to load all products up on here, but you could even put the main ones, or even just a few so that people can get an idea as to what your business is selling. And if we click to see this on Google too, here this is. It actually shoots right over. There's our phone number, and it shows the different products, different categories. So that's pretty cool. Google has its whole own way now to, list your products and services online. And that's super, super helpful. Same with appointments. You can set up a way for people to request an appointment to call you, chat. That's another great feature for businesses who would need something like that. And a lot of them can benefit from it. And that kind of ties into another point. It says, allow the customers to contact you via your Google info. And what I mean by that is that when you have all of this information in Google, when you have your email address and your phone number and your website, all of those are placed so frequently on your different Google spots. When they Google search for you, it's on the information about your website on the right side and things like that. So to show you how that info shows up physically. Again, right from the main page, you would just click info, which is right here two below home, and you would load up your business information. And this is fairly simple to adjust. For any of you, you would be able to edit your service areas. For us, because we're an online agency, we're looking at different cities where we could possibly meet, but right now we're pretty remote. For a lot of you though, whether you're located in Hazleton, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Philly, Allentown, doesn't matter. You can put in your different locations, and then you can actually say that, you have like a home location or a headquarters. And what Google will do is it will verify that location. Will allow you to verify the physical address that you put into Google. So yeah, Google has its own way of making sure that the listings that are going up are legitimate. And one of the best ways that it does that is when you enter in a business address, you will put in all this information, and it will say that it's going to send you a postcard. And with that postcard, it will then give you a code. You'll log back into your Google account and you'll be able to verify that code. I wish that I could run through the demonstration of that for you. It's pretty simple, but still just to show. Maybe at the end, if anyone has questions, I'll try to find some images online. But for me, because I am not doing a single location, I'm not able to verify that exact office location. But you'll be able to verify your location as a business, however you do so. And that'll be part of the location information right here, and then service areas. Again, we went through this. We mentioned how you can adjust your hours. Very simple. You go through marked if you want to close or open. You can add more hours for different things, happy hours, whatever these different category sections are here. This is for special hours for holidays. I just marked that we're closed for all these events because they're all national holidays or big days, just to have. And then you can confirm your hours for other major holidays as well and add your own. So this is really helpful. This again, helps your customers know if you've got, if you're open or closed on particular days where some businesses are and some aren't. Then phone number, very simple. You add it right on. We've got our profile, short name. I just did Socialocca website, the appointment links. And this is something that we talked about, how one of the features is that you can offer the ability to book appointments. If someone was looking at Socialocca from the other end and not the back end, they could click that appointment link, socialocca.com/# contact us. And that takes them right to a spot on our website where they can then go and request an appointment for a phone call, e-meeting, whatever it needs to be. So yeah, running through all this. And again, there's a lot to get to here. There's a lot of different things we could go over. But just from the info, this is one of the first places you want to go when you set up your profile. You would go here, click info, and there's a bunch of different sections here that you're going to fill in for phone numbers, emails, and information about your business. So again, if you want to write this down, this is one of the most crucial things to do when it comes to making sure that you're going to, show up properly. Make sure you put in the right address, service areas, times, when it's open, closed, and all this contact information. So I would definitely hop on this if you haven't yet. It's going to be the quickest way to really build your online notoriety and at least have this stuff online. Just having this general information.
Ryan, we have a couple of questions.
Yes.
So one of them is from William. William's asking, will they let you use Google phone numbers? So for those of you that don't know, Google also has a platform where you can get a Google phone number, especially while working remotely. So you don't have to put your cell phone number online or use a number that you might not want people to have access to 24/7. So William is asking if you can confirm your location with a Google number.
Oh, so William, I should let me just re-explain that if you don't mind. And here, let me bring this up. Verification for Google Business Postcard. I just want to find something physical so I can explain this a little bit better. Just because there's so many different things to Google, and I didn't want to be clicking around on a million tabs, but I thought that this might be useful. Just to kind of have this video play so it makes a little bit of sense. This will explain the postcard verification. I know you said, can we use a number for it, like a phone number? And the Google Voice phone number will work as a contact number, but it's not going to be the best way to verify your business location. To verify the business location, once you set up the profile and have it, you're going to go into verify location, and you'll have a physical postcard. They'll mail it to you to your physical address. So you just need to have a standalone address, and where that postcard is sent is where your business would be in your listing. So I hope that explains that part at least. And thankfully they had this fantastic little video to animate the whole process as I explained it. Again, it's pretty simple to do this. You would just go ahead, verify it, get your postcard, and then it will or won't work based off of the code. If it doesn't work, like they said, you just request a new postcard, no big deal. So that's definitely the way to do it with the verification by mail. And that's the only way you can do that right now. And I said that only because you mentioned the verification and, getting your business up with the phone number. The phone number, it wouldn't work for, that wouldn't help you there, but you can use a phone number, as your business number. Personally, I don't use my personal cell phone for our business. I use 833-386-8226. And you can just as easily set up a Google number and use that Google Voice number for your business number, just to separate calls and have a separate one. Now, I should say, disclosure, I am not a Google Voice professional anymore. I had it a couple of years ago and I used it, but I have not used it frequently. I'm actually looking at this like, look at this, random voicemails, 2018. But this is definitely something I would look into. And any of you too, if you look up Google phone numbers or Google Voice, you can get a free phone number. I think some of the features are paid, but I think you can get one for free to start. And you can have a separate phone right there, link that to your business and have that be the phone number instead of your personal cell phone. Jocelyn, I think I answered that one decently. If he wants to add any more, maybe I didn't, he can definitely follow up. But was there anything else to answer as well?
Yeah, so one of them was from Emily. Emily is saying that when she pulls up her Google My Business, she's showing only Hazleton and West Hazleton as her service area. Can she add specific surrounding areas like Mountaintop and Whitehaven to that, or does it have to be large metro areas? Yeah, no, so that's a great question, Emily. So anybody who has multiple locations for their business, I'm going to explain this as well as I can, and I would encourage you
just to listen to this because it will be very helpful. When it comes to multiple areas, Google, in their exact FAQ, their best suggested answer is if you come across a business that doesn't belong or shouldn't be there. And actually, I might be able to pull one up randomly. Mount Sinai Material Handling, Dallas. We were just working with a friend's company, and there was a Google listing. Okay, it's correct now. So what happened was there was a Google listing for this business, Mount Zion Material Handling, and it was incorrect. The business, the hours were wrong, the address was wrong, the phone number was wrong, and the business owners, the family said, we have no idea how this got here. So along the way, a lot of businesses have had their profiles added to Google by default through different things, whether it was like an old website or Yelp or Google just, fetching info and trying to, populate their search engine rankings with different answers. So now you can see that it's actually clean and it has good information. It looks legitimate for the most part. Their website's coming up right under an ad. So that's good. So this is set now, but originally, it was all messed up. And the problem was that they didn't have the ability to go and edit this listing. They couldn't edit their original listing. So instead of trying to get access to that listing, Google recommends that you mark a place as closed. So, and Emily, this is why I wanted to say this, marking a place as closed, Google, with your multiple studios. If you, and I'm guessing there's 4 just based off of the service areas. Let's say you have 4 physical places. You can actually add all of those different places so that you could have them all pop up under your listing. So let's scroll down here. You can do add a new location. There's a section, I'm going to go back just to re-show this to everybody. Again, right from the main Google Business Dashboard, it's in this left-hand area, and you'd go right to add new location. And then what you would do is you would type it in. You're not going to find it. You're just going to add the business on Google, and then you enter your business name and do this. So Emily, you could add all 4 of your studios, and you could put in like parentheses, the different location after each. It could be the West Hazleton area, and then the Hazleton area, and then Mountaintop, Whitehaven. But this would allow you to add all those different physical addresses, and you can do that. And then what you would do is manage all of your locations, and Google is perfectly fine with that. You could verify every location and you'd pop up in all those places. And honestly, I think that would help your business a lot, because I'm telling you right now, like, people are getting online and they're just searching like dance classes. And a lot of the answers that Google gives are location based. When you guys really think about it, the majority of businesses rely on the local people around them. Yeah, there's a lot of online businesses, but there's way more. I mean, we're talking grocery stores, doctors' offices, schools. I mean, that's the locality. You know what I mean? That's like when people are right there. They're not going to be going any further than the next 10, 20 miles in a lot of these towns. So that's really where you want to capitalize, is have all these locations marked. So, if you already have locations that you can't access and there's something wrong with them, you can definitely mark a location as temporarily closed or permanently closed. Look into that if you do have a problem with it. But once you have those locations closed and you just need to set up the right ones, the best thing to do is add that new location. And once you have all those locations, you'll be able to go and you'll be able to manage all those multiple places with the separate addresses. So not to harp on that too much, but I hope that better explains. I think that might answer some other people's as well.
Yeah,
Emily.
I am going to say that I see some other questions in the chat, but for the sake of time, because we want to, we want to be cognizant of everybody here, we're going to keep going. If we don't get a chance to answer your questions personally, shoot a private message or private, your email address to either myself or Ryan, and we will get you the responses.
Yeah, I was even going to say, guys, I see a couple of you asked a couple more things. I'm just going to put in the chat right now. Feel free to message me any questions after the session. I'm going to drop in a contact link here. If any of you want to message me after the session, please feel free, and I will do a better, concise job at answering what I can. To keep going with just the presentation, thank you, Joss. We're almost done. Mostly, I just want to wrap up a couple more benefits and then get to posting. Benefits, we talked about, allowing customers to contact you through Google, adding that information in, and a lot of these other features that we're going to discuss just to wrap this up are things that you've kind of already seen as well. Let's go back here, refresh this. This says even just photos, video, and products. We talked about the products already. Those are all right here. Again, adding a product, Google has its own little way to do it. Once you guys are in here, you'll be able to figure this out. Photos, very, very simple. We've got some photos here of different people we've worked with, different examples. Oh, look at those pups. Look at them. So photos are a great way to showcase what your business looks like. You can put up your storefront, where you're at. For us, we do a lot of visual media work and social media. So we wanted to show some of the pictures. You can put, what is this? Different flyers and promo things. This is when I spoke somewhere. This is at the Wilkes Connect conference. So yeah, different pictures will help your audience understand different parts of your business. And then they have these different sections here that you can get into at work, team, identity, whatever you need them for. So check out the photo section. Google will also allow you to add videos as well. They own YouTube, so that makes a lot of sense. You can also list up to 750 characters of a business description. So you can have your business description. It's somewhere, I think it's in info, and it would be down here in info. Yep. COVID-19 updates. With your updates from home when you're doing posts, you can talk about COVID-19 to help. Here's the button right here, right from the main dashboard. And this can let your customers know whether you're open, closed, social distancing, wear your mask, whatever that might be. Lots you can do there. And the way that I did that, it was right from the main area, right from the homepage. And they have this button for post your COVID-19 update. So right here, very, very simple. But this is a big thing that Google's allowing businesses to do now. It's super smart. Eventually, you can upgrade all your emails to G Suite. We don't need to get into that. You can set up Google Ads. We talked about that a little bit at the beginning. You can connect your ad account with this and your Google Analytics account. You can connect it with your Google listing for your business as well. And posting. Posting is, I believe, one of the newest features. It's been around for a bit now, but this is something that I really want to show because this ties into the social media end. So with Google Business, they added a way somewhat recently to allow to allow businesses to post for their customers, very similar to Facebook or Instagram. So what we do at Socialocca is the same posts that we're putting on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, we're also putting on Google just to have that same brand consistency there and for the people who are Google searching and want to find things. So you can see this here too. We've got all these different posts. You can share the posts, and also with different insights, it'll tell you if certain people found it through searches or whatever. And again, there's not a million people, on Google trying to be your friend and follow and all of this, but it's so important that you're playing into the Google algorithm. You want to be posting through Google. You want to add your events, add your products, add an update, add an offer. Again, that gets into the sales and specials we talked about earlier. All of these things are really interactive. And, so many like brick and mortar businesses, like even a clothing store, you can do so much by just posting an offer, saying it runs all week, and seeing what happens with people ordering or showing up at the store, whatever it may be. Google has all of these different calls to action that you can work with when you post. And then when you post, your posts will show up with your information on Google Business when people are looking at your business online. So all these posts here, that show up, they're all going to be in this like timeline fashion almost. And you'd be able to, scroll until they were all done. But Google will have this great way for, customers to be able to see this stuff, offers, what's new, events. This is an awesome feature that's worth playing around with. Just to have all these keywords addressed, just to have the pictures up, just to stay active on Google so that they know you're using your business profile. The more time you're spending on it, again, I really believe and have done tons of reading, and it seems that Google will rank your website higher if you're using their platform consistently. So guys, that mostly wraps up the majority of what I wanted to talk about benefit and feature wise. Really, the only thing left that I wanted to really get into was just showing any actions that might be necessary. If anybody had any questions, maybe Jocelyn, we could do the next 15 minutes for like a little Q&A, and I can demo some things if need be.
Yeah,
I'll give you a minute to come back.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. There was a couple of things that I wanted to just touch on based off of some feedback that I'm getting from some of the questions. And that is, if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Go for it. I will stop mine.
Yeah, and I will show you all what I'm talking about. Because these things can be, oh man, when you're working with this stuff, if you can't visually see what you're doing, it can be a little difficult. So
yeah.
So what I had done here is I searched the Canby Innovation Center, and you can see this is showing up here on at the very top because this is my page, because I own this and I have claimed it. So when you just Google yourself, sometimes it shows up if you have some things that Google thinks you should be taking advantage of. You should be, you should be putting more information on your profile. You should change your business hours. These are some things that I need to update. So Google is saying, okay, you haven't been active with me as a platform. I want to make sure that I tell you what you can do. But the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is I took the liberty of searching the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce. Mary and Leanne, not to call you guys out on this, but it's something that I think everybody should see. And that is, I'm going to just take my little pen here and show you guys this little section that says, own this business, ? Basically what that means is that the staff at the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce has not claimed their Google landing page or their Google My Business page. So they might be utilizing some of these resources, but they're not doing it in a way that Google is saying, I have pulled this information for you. So if we went back to some of the examples that Ryan was talking about, I think it was like some Big C's pizza or something, as he was showing all of that data and all of that information, I'm going to move this over here so I'm not looking at a different screen. So as he's showing us all of this information and all of this data, and you can even see it here with the chamber, there are reviews. There is a website, there's, directions, all of this stuff that you're seeing over here, even the address and their hours. This is being pulled from Google. Google is using their algorithms, searching through the chamber's website, searching through content that's been put on the internet, and they're pulling that information organically. And that's being done through the algorithm. But what we're talking about is once you click own this business, and I don't own this business, so I'm not going to be able to do much here. This is when you get to that access code, right, that we're talking about. And maybe the reason that they haven't claimed it is because maybe there's an old email address or something on file. You always want to make sure that you affiliate it with a generalistic Gmail account that is associated with your business, not an individual person's, because sometimes when there's turnover, you lose the ability to track that information. So anyway, I didn't want to get too into that, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew when they Googled themselves, like how could they tell if they actually claimed it yet or not?
No, that was all really helpful, actually, Jocelyn. Thank you. And yeah, thank you for explaining that, because yeah, I apologize, guys. I know there's so many different, I wish I could just recreate a fake business to show it, but it would be bad to create a fake business profile then delete it after the webinar. But yes, I think that explains it better, just showing that. And again, a lot of this will be stuff that you guys would get into the back end and see and kind of learn as you go there. But like we were even saying, Google does make it very easy to answer a lot of those questions and make all of that happen. We've got about 10 minutes before 2:30, and I don't want to hold everybody up. I hope that this has been at least somewhat eye-opening for those who weren't familiar with Google Business, and maybe I brought up some different features or benefits of the platform that people who are already on it can use too. But guys, yeah, if you have any questions, I've got our contact page up here. It's socialocca.com/contact, or just go to the socialocca.com and press contact. It'll take you right down to this. But reach out. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to talk to Jocelyn, you can always message her too. She knows what she's doing, but we're here to help. We wanted to specifically put this together because of everything getting weird with the pandemic, and we know it's tough. We work with small businesses 7 days a week, not 5, 7 days a week right now. And and it's been a tough time. So yeah, if there's any information, any guidance we can do, we're here to help. And there are tons of free tools that you guys can use. I'm telling you, if all of you put your information online, as brick and mortars even, it's going to help with getting your customers. It's going to help with finding more. So yeah, please hone this advice, if you will. It is good, I promise. But yeah, any questions, feel free to reach out.
We did have some questions. William asked, can you list a nonprofit under Google My Business?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I guess besides the whole push on the business thing, yes, you can list your nonprofit as well. I'm pretty sure Google would have a way as well to, say that it's a nonprofit. You can mark that.
Yep.
Yeah, right, John. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then William, yeah, you do the same thing. You list location, what you do, products, services. Again, it's only going to help. It'll only help.
And Jessica asked, in regard to the product pictures and prices, what would you recommend for restaurants that only sell in person? Would you still post any type of information in that section?
That's a great question, Jessica, I believe you said.
Yes.
See, and it's weird because I'm not one of those businesses, I'm selling digital products almost. I think with the Google products, even just with like adding it, you don't even necessarily need to go through and add all that, because if you're going to be doing orders online, you probably already have a system for that. At least that's usually what the restaurants and food people that I've worked with had. The one pizza place I work with, they called me the other day and they sent me some button for like slice.com ordering or something. So they all have their own little thing, and it works for that. So I think that if that's your main way of getting, of getting business, to be ordered online, for the food restaurant, just stick to that. I think that adding the products for food, I mean, it would be good to have. You could do the product name, category, put in your price, but this whole section here with this whole, add a button, everything's just going to go to order online. So, I mean, if you want to take the time to go through and do this, it's only going to help. If you run a pizza place and you got 10 different pizzas, put a picture of every pizza on here and link it all to the page on your website where they can actually process a credit card and order. That's what I would do. Just even grab a photo on your cell phone, make sure it's well lit. Just get something up so that people can see your product. It will help with sales. All of the data suggests that.
Ryan, this is a good opportunity to say, and I believe Jessica might be one of these companies, but I know many of you that we've promoted this webinar to are participating in a great grant program that we were able to offer to businesses in Luzerne County, and that was to get your business online, to build a website for your business, or to utilize social media marketing for your business. So I think that's a good segue, Ryan, to talk about the importance of Google, because a lot of the restaurants that are getting a website made for them, which is a wonderful thing, and we're thrilled to be able to do that for you guys, aren't claiming your Google listing pages. So there was a really good quote that I actually heard on a webinar this morning that said, it was Chad Pollitt from the Huffington Post said, the best place to hide a dead body, is on the second page of Google, because nobody goes to the second page of search ads. And I had a client that had a website that was built for them through one of these initiatives, and their website wasn't found, even though I searched the exact name of their business, until page 6. And I purposely went through all of those pages to find out where it was pulling. So when you start to engage Google, Google will start to put you sooner and higher up on their rankings. And once you claim that Google My Business page, it doesn't matter if you're on page 10, because if they search your name, it's going to show up right on that first page as the little landing page in the corner. So I just think that's important for everybody to know. If you're one of those people that have built a website recently or have had a website built for you and you need some help with this, please reach out to the Canby Innovation Center or Ryan and at Socialocca, and we will figure out how to get you on track.
Also, Josh, that's really well said. Guys, all of these platforms are like systems. The more you give to them, the more they're going to give to you. It's just the truth. If you spend all day on TikTok and you just go through your For You page and you like videos you like and you swipe away from videos you don't like, that app is actually engineered to figure out, oh, Ryan only likes to look at or videos of cute puppies, and he hates when we show him videos about politics. And it's going to remember that. These things are smarter than us. You know, they don't forget. They don't have human flaws. So the same thing goes for Google. If you are uploading all of your products onto Google and you're linking your website and you've got all of your info and you're posting regularly and you're getting views, Google's going to say, this person is using our system. We're going to help them so that they continue. Their job is to help people find businesses. So if you're giving the information to help your business be found, Google's just going to connect you more easily. It's just it's a good relationship, you know, both sides benefit from it. And I think that's so important to say, yeah, make sure you're using this and you're up to date with it, especially with these new websites, guys. If you've got a brand new website, it's time to crank it up and try to get some traction on that, because it's you know, it's late in the game for some people, but if you put enough effort in now to you know, kind of bolster that ranking, you should be able to hit, you know, higher up on Google, you know, within a couple of months. But be prepared. It can take 6 to 12 months to get even a, you know, really well-made website to rank on the first page for a specific key term. Some websites never even do, but the best way that you're going to be found, you know, by the people who you need is just put all that information into your Google listing, have it all on your website, work with your web guys about it, or your web team, whoever, and they'll be able to tell you the same thing. But yeah, just like Jocelyn said, keep those posts going. What you put into this, it's going to help you get back out of it too.
Ryan,
I'm going to check the chat out quick if there was anything.
Yep, we have one other question on the Q&A. What are labels under advanced information?
Yeah. Oh,
that's a great question.
Yeah, here, where was advanced information? We're going to find this.
Yeah. You know what, Emily? What I will say to you is that if we don't find it in the next couple of seconds, we will look into that a little bit more and get back to you. Under info, she said.
Oh, that would make sense. Hold on, she's got to be. And then there was this actually makes sense. She asked about this. Emily, I'm going to be honest, a store code is a unique ID for each business in your account. Anyone who manages a location on Google would see its store code. This is pretty advanced. I honestly don't even want to get into it because I don't know enough to even like pretend like I do, if that makes any sense. I do believe that this would have to do with like much more complicated procedures when you have like multiple people who are going to be managing multiple products and like inventory listings and stuff like that. That's kind of what I believe that this like leaned itself towards. Yeah, bulk upload spreadsheets. Emily, this is probably something you want to look into if you're, you know, a very big business and you have, you know, so many products you need to upload them or something like that. I know that some platforms allow for that. Jocelyn, unless you have anything major to add to this, I would say, Emily, that these things are probably advanced for the most part. Adding label. Yeah, this has to do with like if you had multiple locations or something like that and you had different stores, business locations, you could label it all. This would all be a little advanced. I think we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, the one thing that I would add for anybody watching, Google can easily get overwhelming because, I mean, let's face it, it's a major technology platform that has more information than probably most of us need to have. So I think what you have to remember when you're going through Google is don't waste time on things that don't make sense easily. And if they don't easily make sense, it's probably not something that you need for your business. If it's in a big bold letter, if it's in the Google Blue, if it has icons on it, if Google's directing you to use it, those are the areas that you should probably focus a little bit more on. And Emily's saying, so even though it says location, it doesn't really have anything to do with how the search engine finds you. And I believe that she's asking a question. And Emily, you are correct. I don't believe that under that advanced information, you really have to worry about putting multiple locations. You know, you really want to focus that on your service area.
Yeah. So, and Emily, I'm going to take this a step further. This gets a little progressive. People are going to be like, what? What's this kid talking about? Listen, there was a report that came out by a really famous YouTuber recently, And I know this because a good friend of mine is like actually a professional YouTuber. Like she just YouTubes. That's her career. That's her income. And I've learned a lot from her because I've never met someone like that I know as well that gets their check from YouTube until I met her. So it's been interesting because she's let me know a lot about a lot of like the back end side. There's some famous YouTuber and she's shown me this video and he did a lot of algorithm tests. And they basically concluded that the titles of YouTube videos almost have such little effect on the search engine results that you can almost title things like whatever. Now, you can't really title it whatever because it would look ridiculous. You know, you can't put up a picture or a video of stingrays and say mountain lion attacks goat. You know, it's so misleading. They'd be like, no, bad video. But the point is that ultimately, they don't really care about the title. They're actually listening and watching your videos, which is kind of crazy. So like if you put up a 20-minute video talking about the history of Christopher Columbus, they're going to be able to tell because they have robots that will listen to you. They'll listen to what you're saying. I mean, they can, you know, tell everything, you know, they'll check, you know, what the video was encoded at, what the resolution is. They're going to look at all those things and they're going to actually include those in the rankings. So when you bring up like it has nothing to do with the search, when people are searching, all of this has to do with what people are searching. And that's why I'm saying that is like the title mattered, but what mattered more was the video, the content, the part that you didn't think could be read by Google and YouTube. That's what's being read. And I'm telling you, for Google Business, they're just looking at the people who gave them information. Because if you have a bunch of different service areas located for anybody who searches in Whitehaven or Mountaintop or the Hazleton areas, and they search, you know, dance studio, you're going to have the potential to pop up there because you're telling Google, hey, we're in the Whitehaven area. If someone searches from that zip code, you can show us. So that's the kind of relationship that you want to have with Google is give them all this information so that they can, you know, work with it and make sure it's relevant. You don't want to say, oh, the service area is Washington, D.C., because no one's going to drive all the way up. But the point is that if it's a, you know, a related area and it's close and it makes sense and it can lead to clicks, Google's going to accept it and you'll get views and traffic from that. But yeah, I thought that was important to say is, yeah, don't overlook any of these things. Your reviews, it's reading your reviews, it's reading your info, it's reading everything. I promise. All the data suggests this, and they constantly upgrade their algorithms to change this kind of stuff. And big people have discovered that this is where Google's going with their understanding of videos and everything. So yeah, it all matters. It definitely all matters. But I wouldn't worry about this advanced stuff. Don't do that right now. Really just this main column here, get your information, photos, videos, reviews, get the key stuff that people can look for, products, list your services. That's a great start right there. If everybody had a Google business page and just had that stuff, the world would be an easier place to find what we want and need. That's all. Joss, I'm pretty good with what I've said. I don't want to bore anybody with too much Google today, but
no, I think we're right on time. It's 2:33. I want to thank everybody for being here with us today. Thank you, Ryan, for being here with us. What I'm hearing from a lot of the comments and a lot of the chats coming through is there's definitely some benefit in what we're offering you guys, and we really did an overview today. I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk to Ryan. We're going to talk to the partners of THInC, and we're going to look at maybe doing some type of a web series specifically on Google and Google services. There's so many free platforms and free uses that you can use Google for. I have businesses that I work with that no longer purchase Microsoft products because they use, Google Word and Google Sheet, or I should say Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Meetings, and they're using everything within the Google platform. So stay tuned, keep an eye on our Facebook pages and our websites, and we'll be updating soon, and hopefully in the new year we'll have a nice array of some services to offer. Thank you for being here today, guys.
Thanks so much, Jocelyn. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good luck